for all that you have done for us. May you continue to watch over us, to keep us, HalaYah, even on this day, the Shabbat day that you have set apart and kept to yourself. That we would speak of you, that we would read of you, that we would just meditate on you and your ways, and what you are doing in our lives and the life of those who we love. So, Father, we pray that you are with us throughout the four corners of the earth, of all those who call upon your name, spirit and in truth, that you continue to lead us in the way that we should go, that we do not lean to our own understanding, oh yeah, and just give us the ability to not walk in condemnation, but forgive ourselves for things that we have done as you have forgiven us, oh yeah, and take the lessons. May we continue to move forward. May we continue to be built up by you, HalaYah, that we can be vessels of honor set for your use. May you keep us, and may you continue to build the bond between us, HalaYah, and make it stronger. May you show us what a community is, HalaYah, and how to build one that is sustained by you. We know it won't be easy, but with you, all things are possible. And we honor you and we love you with all our hearts and might. HalaYah. Okay. So onus is on.
Okay, I can get the order. My slick up without it.
No, you talking.
As soon as you said something, he started going in. I was like, okay. All right. Okay, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Mishpachah. We're gonna be going over our ordinances, starting with the book of Shemot, commonly called Exodus, chapter 19, starting with verse 1.
I got you, Akeem. No swear, I got it. All right, so we go into the book of Shabbat, commonly called Exodus, starting up chapter 19, starting at verse 1. And it reads, on the third month after the Israelites had gone forth from the land of Mitzrayim, on that very day they entered into the wilderness of Sinai. Having journeyed from Rephidim, they entered the wilderness of Sinai and encamped in the wilderness. Israel encamped there in front of the mountain, and Moshe went up to Elohim. Yahuwah called to him from the mountain, saying, thus shall you say to the house of Yaakov, and declare to the children of Israel, you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to me. Now, then if you will obey me faithfully and keep my covenant, you shall be my treasured possession among all the peoples. Indeed, all the earth is mine. But you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a set apart nation. These are the words which you shall speak to the children of Israel. Moshe came and summoned the elders of the people and put before them all that Yahuwah had commanded him. All those assembled as one, saying all that Yahuwah had spoken, we would do. And Moshe brought back the people's words to Yahuwah. HalaYah. Now we're going to drop that and we're going to go to the book of. Are you serious? Oh. To the book of Wayyera, commonly called Leviticus, chapter 26, starting at verse 40. And they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their forefathers, and that they trespassed against me, yea, were hostile to me. When I in turn have been hostile to them and have removed them into the land of their enemies, then at last shall their uncircumcised heart humble itself, and they shall atone for their iniquity. Then will I remember my covenant with Yaakov. I will also remember my covenant with Yitzchak, and also my covenant with Abraham. I will remember the land. For the land shall be forsaken of them, making up its Sabbath, Shabbaton, by being desolate of them, while they atone for their iniquity, for the abundant reason that they rejected my rules and spurned my laws. Yet even then, when they are in the land of their enemies, I will not reject them or abhor them to destroy them, breaking my covenant with them, for I am Yahuwah the Elohim. I will, for their sakes, remember the covenant with their forefathers, whom I freed from the land of Mizraim in the sight of the nations, to be the Elohim, Yahuwah. These are the laws, rules, and instructions that Yahuwah established through Moshe at Mount Sinai with the Israelite people. Hallelujah. The last one is comes from the book of Ezekiel, commonly called Ezekiel, chapter 36, starting at verse 22. Say to the house of Yisrael, thus saith Adonai Yahuwah, not for your sake will I act, O house of Yisrael, but for my set apart name, which you have caused to be profaned among the nations to which you have come. I will sanctify my great name, which has been profaned among the nations, among whom you have caused it to be profaned. And the nations shall know that I am Yahuwah, declares Adonai Yahuwah, when I manifest my set apartness before their eyes through you. I will take you from among the nations and gather you from all the countries, and I will bring you back to your own land. I will sprinkle clean water upon you, and you shall be clean. I will cleanse you from all of your uncleanness and from all your idols. And I will give you a new heart and put a new ruach within you. I will remove the heart of stone from your body and give you a heart of flesh. I will put my set apart spirit within you. Thus I will cause you to follow my laws and faithfully observe my rules. Then you shall dwell in the land which I gave to your fathers, and you shall be my people, and I will be your Elohim. Hallelujah. These are the words that I am Yahuwah, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other mighty ones before my face. You shall not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of that which is in the heavens above, the earth beneath, or the waters under the earth. You do not bow down to them nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah, am a jealous El, visiting the crookedness of the fathers unto the children, to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, and showing love and kindness to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments. Do not take the name of Yahuwah your Elohim in vain, for Yah will not leave that one unpunished who taketh his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day and set it apart. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Shabbat day unto Yahuwah your Elohim. In it you do not work. You nor your son, your daughter, your manservant, your female servant, or the stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days Yah created the heavens, the earth, the seas, and the fullness thereof, and rested on the 7th day. Therefore Yah barak the 7th day and set it apart. Honor your father and your mother, so that your days may be prolonged upon the land that Yah your Elohim is giving you. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Do not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Do not covet thy neighbor's house. Do not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, female servant, ox, cattle, or whatever else that belongs to thy neighbor. For thus readeth the law. Hallelujah. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Akkad, Wayahab Ta'at, Yahuwah Elaheka, Bekor, Lebabka, Ubekor, Nefeshka, Ubekor, Meodeka. Hear and obey, O Yisrael, Yahuwah is our El, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of thy might. Hallelujah. Now we're going to my hallelujah belongs to you. Following that will be the HalaYah portion. My hallelujah belongs to you. 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 You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. My hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. 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 Hallelujah. Want to give a hallelujah first and foremost for life, for him being Elohim, for him continuing to watch over us and guide us, for getting us here to Cincinnati safely. Even though it's snowing now, the snow stops. So to be able to get here safely, for Kayaya and the board to do what they're doing for whatever purpose the Most High is giving them. Beginning to, well, not beginning to, but continuing to show what I'm supposed to be doing, even if it's in pieces, for the family and the family around me, because I don't have friends. Yeah. And just for the opportunity to grow, the opportunity to continue moving forward and not being stagnant, for his mercy and for his favor. Hallelujah. Anyone else with a hallelujah? I don't.
Okay, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Can I be heard? Just want to make sure.
Okay.
Okay. Man, all praise the Most High, creator of heaven and earth, seas and all that there is. I laugh because it's like I didn't get the opportunity to speak or any support at the beginning. I'm kind of like, man, I wanted to say something, but it's like I'm in the same vein in regards to thanking the Most High for life, because this little brother's active. He's very energetic. Talking about my Ben, he's very energetic. He's very lively. He's very I would say I'll even go as far to say like all of my good traits, but amplified. He is literally your best version of yourself, especially at these ages here. It's our opportunity to almost, in a sense, I don't want to say correct the wrongs, but the Most High gives you an opportunity to continue to better yourself through your yellow bean, and even those that the Most High brings before you to just kind of like reflect off of one another. So I thank the Most High for that perspective in life as I go forth through life and experiencing these things. Torah Rabba, Torah Yah, for all the lives that are here. Each and every soul has an influence on my life, more ways than I can even count. So I am very appreciative of everyone's here. Torah Rabba, for safe travel and mercies to y'all. Torah for Torah for even getting my Isha and your Isha to a safe location, for giving you the strength to make it there. So I'm appreciative of that. Again, for every soul that is here, just very appreciative of all the things that's been going on, despite the downs, despite the noise in the background. We're still able to hear through the distractions. To listen to that still small voice. That was actually a lesson that my Mishpachah was actually talking about last night. So I'm looking at things full circle in regards to that. We got to push through the distractions, push through all those things to get to Shalom. That's where the Most High is at. And that's all I got. Love y'all, family. I yield.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Coming to you and said HalaYah for HalaYah for another Shabbat. Anyone else with a hallelujah? Okay. Trying to through it all. Through it all. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead into the Torah portion. Which is in the book of Bereshit, commonly called Genesis chapter 18. Wayyera or Wayyera. So we at. So Bereshit, commonly called Genesis chapter 18, starting verse 1. And it reads. Yahuwah appeared to him by the terebims of Mamre. He was sitting at the entrance of the tent as the day grew hot. So when I was just looking at it, if y'all were able to read it, it said initiated communication with, make contact with without indicating a visual experience. So this is a well, the way they put it, it makes it sound like it's a hallucination, but or just more of a day vision than this actually occurring. He was in. Most would say that Abraham was in meditation at this time. Right? So, so through his meditation, verse 2, looking up, he saw three figures standing near him. Perceiving this, he ran from the entrance of the tent to greet them and bowing to the ground. He said, "My lords, if it please you, do not go past your servant. Let a little water be brought. Bathe your feet and recline under the tree. And let me fetch a morsel of bread that you refresh yourselves. Then go on, saying that you have come your servant's way." They replied, "Do as you have said." Abraham hastened into the tent to Sarai, said, "Quick, 3 seahs of choice flour, knead and make cakes." Then Abraham ran to the herd, took a calf, tender and choice, and gave it to a servant boy who hastened to prepare it. He took curds and milk and the calf that had been prepared and set these before them. He waited on them under the tree as they ate. So at this particular time, like, how long do you think that, well, yeah, how long do you think that this was that they were sitting there based on what we just read? Go ahead, Akeem.
Okay, I would have to say that interaction probably started at the beginning of the day. Just from looking at it from a cooking standpoint, it just the just the lamb alone would have took time to dress it, to clean it, to cook it up. That would have took you about a good 4 hours, and that's looking at it from like real time now. One thing that kind of I'm admired about is the fact of the individuals that were performing the task. They were like top notch in what they were doing. So everybody was like the top of their class in performing the acts that they were doing in regards to this aspect. Even though it's just something simple as cooking, I'm looking at it now with a broader lens, so to speak, you know. So I'm looking at everybody that's functions was doing this, and I'm like, dang, took the young servant one that had to hasten to do this. So not only did he have to perform this task, but he had to perform this task speedily in order to perfect it and get it out there on time. Not let my plan.
Hey, as you said, it would definitely take a minute because now you gotta go get the. It's not like he went to the fridge, you know, and got the lamb out. That's wrapped up. You got to go get the lamb, as you said, dress it, cook it, do all of that. That's 4 hours. He said in today's time. So now you're talking about an event where these 3 men are sitting under this tree for a while. Abraham gets the process going. He goes back and sits down. So who knows what that conversation was? But just being able to always be ready. Always be ready. Verse 9. They said to him, "Where is your wife Sarah?" And he replied, "They're in the tent." Then one said, "I will return to you next year, and your wife Sarah shall have a son." Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years. Sarah had stopped having her minstrels. And Sarah laughed to herself, saying, "Now that I have lost the ability, am I to have enjoyment with my husband so old?" Then Yahuwah said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I in truth bear a child old as I am? Is anything too wondrous for Yahweh? I will return to you at the same season next year, and Sarah shall have a son." Sarah lied, saying, I did not laugh. She was frightened, came the reply. "You did laugh." The agents set forth from there and looked down toward Sodom, Abraham walking with them to see them all. Now Yahuwah has said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do?" Since Abraham is to become a great and populous nation, and all the nations of the earth are to bless themselves by him. For I have singled him out that he may instruct his children in his prosperity to keep the way of Yah by doing what is just and right, in order that Yah may bring about for Abraham what he has promised him. Mm. So what do y'all see there? From the Most High asking about Sarah to what the Most High just said in regards to Abraham, and should he give him a baby? No, no. That was a that was a that wasn't a question. It was a statement that she shall have a son. Oh yeah, should I keep from should I keep from Abraham what I am about to do? Not in regards to the baby. Yeah, this is now in regards to Sodom and Gomorrah. So one thing we should see is Abraham is set to become a great and populous nation, right? Why doesn't it say nations? And what nation is Abraham? What nation is Abraham? Legoi Gadol. Gadol. So a great nation. Can somebody tell me what nation is Abraham? Where is the nation of Abraham? Know yourself?
And I would say the nation would be priestly nation, if I'm kind of saying it right. Looking at his line, comes from a priestly line. So not to even jump too far, but we already understand that through his line, you have the children of Israel that were established another covenant saying that they will be a kingdom of priests or nation of priests, so to speak. So I would say that his nation, that is a priestly nation.
Okay. I would agree. I would agree that it's not. Might in trouble for this. It's not just Israel. That the nation of Abraham is much bigger than the seed of Yaakov. It's one of righteousness, as Sar said, is one of priests, right? So, which is why they call him the father of faith, which that's a bold statement, but in a sense it fits. Yes.
Do you think he asked him if he should tell him because he know that he was able, since he was someone to gather souls, was he able to persuade the Most High for not doing it?
He was an intercessor, yeah. Yeah. He was an intercessor. I mean, persuade the creator. Oh, yeah, I guess you could use the word persuade. Adult yourself, is that old here?
No. That's something new. Just a thought came to my mind.
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to give like a scriptural evidence to kind of back my claim. So, Kane, I'm 100% with you on that too. So, if I were to go to Shemot chapter 18 in regards to Yithro, how yes, he does come from Abraham's loins, but the practices, what he was doing was slightly contrary to the practices of the Most High. Until him, I'm saying him as Yithro, and Moshe had a conversation in regards to all the things that were done for the children of Israel. I forget which verse it is, but Yithro acknowledges the Creator as Ha Elohim. He's not like you consider small G in a sense. No, this is big G now we're talking about. And then he sends up oblations to the Creator at that point. So that's an example of what it would look like, how the other nations, in a sense, would be coming into that priestly manner of righteousness, because he was a high priest for his nation of Midian. So that's just a small example right there.
Okay. And I agree. That's why you no longer see his title as priest of Midian anymore after he realizes who the creator is. Yeah, and the and the thought is that the Most High never, at the beginning, were there nations prior to the flood? Were there nations prior to the flood? No, there wasn't. Thank y'all for answering. No, there was no nation prior to the flood. So in the beginning, the Most High's goal was never to have many nations. If anything, it was just going to be one nation, which is what he's reestablishing through Abraham, which is an obedient and righteous nation. That's why Yisrael is, we are the teachers within that nation. When you go to the book of Amos, and it tells you that the survivors of judgment who have the name of the Creator within them, that's they are part of that nation. So yes, Yisrael, we are the priests, right? You are the kingdom of priests, but you are not the sole. You are not in totality all of the nation of Yah. If that makes sense. So okay. So Moses said, for why 19? For I have singled him out that he may instruct his children and his posterity to keep the way of Yah by doing what is just and right, in order that Yah may bring forth for Abraham what has been promised him. So we're talking about all of Abraham's children. All 8 were supposed to carry on the lineage of Abraham. All 8 of his sons. So in a sense, you can say that there was going to be 8 tribes of Abraham. Then their sons were supposed to create all of the tribes were supposed to be under the nation of Abraham. In order to keep the way of Yah, doing what is just and right. Which is why you see some of our brothers who are some would say Ishmael. I'll just say the children of the East. They understand Abraham. They understand righteousness. They read Torah. They do all of these things, but they know that they're not Yisrael. They will call you Yisrael, but they know that they carry on the ways of their father Abraham. That's who the Creator told you to mimic, right? He said, go back to the rock from which you were hewn, in the hole from which you were dug. Abraham and Sarah, not Jacob, but Abraham. So he said, all right, I'm gonna tell Abraham, because he's gonna do what I'm supposed to, what he's gonna do, what I expect him to do. So right after he gives him a stamp saying that I know he's going to do this, because Most High said what? He said, for I've seen him out that he may instruct. Yeah, if I've seen him out and put him on this task. Right? So he put him on this task. Now, right after that, now he's going to test him. The Yahuwah said, the outrage of Sodom and Gomorrah is so great, their sin is so grave. I will go down to see whether they have acted altogether according to the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will take note. The ages went on from there to Sodom, where Abraham remained standing before Yahuwah. Abraham came forward and said, will you sweep away the innocent along with the guilty? But if there should be 50 innocent within the city, will you wipe out the place and not forgive it for the sake of the innocent 50 who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to bring death upon the innocent as well as the guilty, so that innocent and guilty fare alike. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth deal justly? And Yahuwah said, if I find within the city of Sodom 50 innocent ones, I will forgive the whole place for their sakes. Abraham spoke up, saying, here I venture to speak to you, my Lord. I am only but dust and ashes. What if the 50 innocent shall lack 5? Will you destroy the whole city for want of the 5? I will not destroy if I find 45 there. But he spoke up again and said, what if 40 should be found there? I will not do it for the sake of 40. And he said, let not my Lord be angry if I go on. What if 30 should be found there? I will not do it if I find 30. And he said, I venture again to speak to my Lord. What if 20 should be found there? I will not destroy for the sake of the 20. And he said, let not my Lord be angry if I speak but this last time. What if 10 should be found there? I will not destroy for the sake of the 10. Having finished speaking to Abraham, Yahuwah departed, and Abraham returned to his place. So in the book of Jeremiah, right, chapter 29, he tells us build houses, plant vineyards, get wives, have children, marry your children off, so that you grow, and pray for the peace of the place that you're at. So the righteous are supposed to grow in the midst, well, when we're in captivity, we're supposed to grow in the midst of others while praying for the peace thereof. For if they have peace, then we have peace. Part of the having peace is because we will be in our own community. So we're just worried about the outskirts, really. We're not worried about within us, because we should be doing what we're supposed to do. But the Most High has always told us led us to see that intercession is a major part of our job for one another and for the people around us, as far as the other nations. That's living justly and righteously, when you're not just worried about you and those who are of your like mind, but you're worried about the well-being of others. Because Abraham knew who was with Lot or Lot. He just saved him, just last portion. So he knew who was with him, how many children he had. He knew it wasn't 10 of Lot or Lot. He only had 4 daughters, him and his wife. So that's 6. As we're about to see. But his thought was, I just don't want the righteous to be destroyed with the wicked. So if I'm praying, other people are praying, they're not saying that we can hold it off, but maybe we'll be removed before the judgment. And in all actuality, we may be actually able to hold off judgment for at least one generation. chapter 19. The two messengers arrived in Sodom in the evening as Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom, the place where the judges sat. When Lot saw them, he rose to greet them and bowing low with his face to the ground, he said, "Please, my lords, turn aside to your servant's house to spend the night and bathe your feet. Then you may be on your way early." But they said, "No, we will spend the night in the square." He doing the same thing his uncle did. But he urged them strongly, so they turned his way and entered his house. He prepared a feast for them and baked unleavened bread, and they ate. They had not lain down when the town council and in the militia of Sodom, insignificant and influential alike, the whole assembly without exception, gathered about the house. And they shouted to Lot or Lot and said to him, "Where are the ones who came to you tonight? Bring them out that we may be intimate with them." So Lot went out to them to the entrance and shut the door behind him and said, "I beg you, my friends, do not commit do not commit such a wrong. Look, I have two daughters who have not known a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you may do to them as you please. But do not do anything to the others, since they have come under the shelter of my roof." But they said, "Stand back. This fellow," they said, "came here as an alien, and already he acts as the ruler. Now we will deal worse with you than with them." And they pressed hard against the householder, against Lot, and moved forward to break the door. But the agents stretched out their hands and pulled Lot into the house with them and shut the door. And the people who were at the entrance of the door, low and high alike, they struck with blinding light, so that they were helpless to find the entrance. Then the agent said to Lot, "Whom else have you here? Sons-in-laws, your sons and daughters, or anyone else that you have in the city, bring them out of this place. But we are about to destroy this place because of the outcry against them before Yahuwah has become so great that Yahuwah has sent us to destroy it." So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law who had married his daughters and said, "Up, get out of this place, for Yahuwah is about to destroy the city." But he seemed to his sons-in-law as one who jest. All right. So even in this aspect of the story, because we all know the story, it's just, do you see you in the story? In the book of Exodus, in our instruction manual, it says, "Do not follow the multitude to do evil." Now, it says in this particular rendering in Safari that everybody, small and great alike, the insignificant as well as the influential, all were there. And I started to think about, well, what if one person spoke up? Probably would have been killed, or maybe the ones or the messengers would have also saved him. And I thought about what Noah was doing, right? You see a man building a boat for 120 years and you don't ever stop to think, all right, maybe let me go help him, even though I think he's crazy. I say that to say, are you looking for the person building the boat? Are you looking for the person who's different or saying something that's different than everybody else, but something in you is telling you that they just might be right? Are you going to speak up? Or are you going to be destroyed with everybody else? Because you can't see. They were all blinded. And then they said, who else do you have here? Go ahead, Adon, yourself.
Lolo, it sounded like you were still going on. I didn't want to stop your thought.
Well, I was about to go into another point, but go ahead, if you're going to speak on the one that we were just talking about.
Okay, Ken. So something I was going to bring up, which is, I'm not a man coincidence by any means, for people that don't know. When I literally just had a conversation with the girls, and we were talking about the aspect of what satisfies your appetite, you know. Yeah, we can look at it from a cooking perspective, right? But it's really the unsatisfaction that really drove man down the downward spiral of sin. I was explaining to them like how the Most High gave you everything in the very beginning in Gan Eden, in the Garden of Eden, and you were only restricted by one tree in comparison to everything else that you have before you. But it's that lack of control for your appetite that allowed you to, partake in things that you're not supposed to partake in. And I can see the same thing happening here, where their appetite for this action was so out of control that it had to be snuffed out. It had to be put away and cast out. That aspect of blinding is very interesting to me because low key, I can see that for Lot. If we go back a couple of portions before, when the herdsmen, when the herdsmen were strifing with each other, and it came up to that opportunity for Lot and Abram at that time to separate, Lot took what was pleasing to the sight rather than what was supposed to be, in a sense. Let me say it like that, right? The Most High, does what he does in that aspect. Because, not to go too far, but just for the simple fact that he made his judgment call based off of what he's seen, and that gauged his appetite. Same manner happened with Kawah. She looked at the fruit, seen that it was delightful, seen that it was pleasant to the eyes, and then from that point on, all of your other senses were blinded. You couldn't think about nothing else but that. Your appetite basically took over, which leads you into a downward spiral of making constant wrong decisions. So I thought it was beautiful that this whole thing, at least for me, right, that it's tying up in the aspect that these individuals were so thirsty. I'm gonna use terms now. These dudes were so thirsty that in their actions of what they were trying to do, they were blinded. And throughout the whole entire city, you see that these sons are, they're thinking that everything's a joke because they're at a state that they're so, what's the word I want to look for? Gluttonous, right? They're like almost in a drunken state of being, they're in a drunken state of being in that type of, like a food coma. That's the word I was looking for. Like a food coma. That's what it reminds me of. They're thinking it's a joke. They're being slothful. They're not moving. There's no urgency behind the words that Lot is spitting to them right now at this point. So I can go on and on, but I yield the floor at this point.
Okay. Those great points, okay, in terms of being blinded by your desires to where you can't see that the road that he's given or what he's actually, where he's telling you to go, because your desires have blinded your logic, your reason, your ability to hear. Okay. Even with suggesting of thinking everything's a joke, that's those are characteristics of a fool. One who whose decision-making process stems solely from their desires and what is pleasing to them. And that when somebody is coming in order to tell them that way of thinking is going to lead to calamity, they think it's a joke. Part of my question would be, well, why would you give your daughters to somebody like that who's not able to hear sincerity? Like, they're in the house with these two men just blinded everybody outside. If you're the son-in-law of Lot or Lot, right? That means that Lot, I'm sure, told you about his uncle Abraham, who just beat up 5 kings with 318 people. That his uncle stood in fire, right, according to other literature, stood in fire and was not burnt. You hear all of these things, right? In this particular time period, they're not supernatural acts are not foreign to them. Remember, the flood happened to them. To us is, well, I don't know if it happened after the flood happened to them. So they know acts of Elohim. So all of that, right? And you still think somebody joking with you. It reminds me of a scene. I know y'all, haven't watched this movie, but it reminds me of a scene in Friday, right? Where Ice Cube talking to Smokey. He'd be like, that's your problem. You always say somebody playing. And then there's other parts to it that I really enjoy saying. But the problem with Smokey is, for those who saw Friday, is he did think everything was a joke. Those are people who get you killed because they're never serious. And that's who just got 2 of Lot's daughters killed. Verse 15. As dawn broke, the messengers urged Lot, saying, up, take your wife and your 2 remaining daughters, lest you be swept away because of the iniquity of the city. Still he delayed. So the agents seized his hand in the hands of his wife and his 2 daughters, and Yahuwah's mercy on him, and brought him out and left him outside the city. So he's still tarrying, right, or dragging his feet to do what he knows is coming. That's the difference between him and his uncle. Genesis 12, the Most High said, get up, do what you need to do, walk until I tell you to stop. It said that he got up. He got up, did what he needed to do. Now, this is talking about Lot, and it's saying that he's delayed in his obedience. So now we're seeing as Joseph would say, I'm not gonna go too far, but just notice all these things from Lot as we continue to go on. When they had brought them outside, one said, flee for your life, do not look behind you, nor stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the hills, lest you be swept away. But Lot said to him, oh no, my lord, you have been so gracious to your servant and have already shown me so much kindness in order to save my life, but I could not flee to the hills, lest the disaster overtake me and I die. Look, the town there is near enough to flee to. It is such a little place. Let me flee there. It is such a little place, and let my life be saved. He replied, very well, I will grant you this favor too, and I will not annihilate the town of which you have spoken. Hurry, flee there, for I cannot do anything until you arrive. Keep on. Hence the town came to be known as Zoar. As the sun rose up upon the earth, and Lot entered Zoar, Yahuwah rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah sulphurous fire from Yahuwah out of heaven, annihilating those cities in the entire plain and all of the inhabitants of the city and the vegetation of the ground. Lot's wife looked back, and she thereupon turned into a pillar of salt. Next morning, okay, so that's next morning. Angels say, go here. He says, I still got my sights on something else. He still hasn't learned the difference between his vision and the creator's vision. I almost said a word. Brother, they just told you they're about to destroy the city and told you where to go. Why would your reply be, well, if I go there, then the calamity is going to overtake you? But I just told you where to go because I have to get you to safety. Why would calamity, if I'm the one bringing the calamity? You ever talk to those people who have an excuse for every answer that you give them? You give them an answer to their problem and they hit you with another excuse. And then you give an answer for that excuse and they hit you with another excuse. Then you got another answer and they hit you with another excuse. Eventually, it's just like, all right, you want to stay in your problem. You're not ready to come out yet. So you stay there until you're ready to come out. Because one thing the Most High does not do is he doesn't force you to do anything. He's going to give you signs. He's going to give you tips. He's going to give you hints. He may just blatantly say something, but what he won't do is force you to go in the direction that he told you to go. And as you see, when you look at this man's household, you know a man, right? I believe, I forgot which of my wonderful Moreh said it, but you know the man by the wife. Oh, yes, it was okay. It's okay yourself. So you know the man by looking at the wife. That the man can try to put on the front and so on and so forth, but you look at the wife and you will see him. Because that's what's going on inside of the home. So you look at Lot's wife, obviously got from Sodom and Gomorrah. So from Sodom and Gomorrah, this is your wife. Your wife looks back and said the word is nabat, which means to, have regard for, feelings for, to worry about the well-being of. So she's worried about the well-being of a place that's about to get destroyed for sin. She turns back, turns to salt. Two of your daughters have fools as husbands, so they probably woke up to death. And then we read about the other two daughters. So your entire household is out of order. Your entire household is connected and bound to sin. Your entire household is connected to wickedness. But it's interesting because he was sitting in the judge's seat by the gate. How are you a judge, but your wife is connected to wickedness? You gave your two sons to foolishness, and now we're about to read about your other two daughters who are foolish, who think everybody in the world has been destroyed. But you're a judge. Verse 27. Next morning, Abraham hurried to the place where he had stood before Yahweh. And looking down towards Sodom and Gomorrah and all the land of the plain, he saw the smoke of the land rising like the smoke of a killing. Akeem. Killing. I don't know. Thus it was that when Elohim destroyed the cities of the plain and annihilated the cities where Lot dwelt, Elohim was mindful of Abraham and removed Lot from the midst of the upheaval. No wonder you think you a judge. You think that the favor is yours. It's not your favor. That's why you act like that. Bingo. Because you think that the Most High was doing all this for you. But it said Elohim was mindful of Abraham. I'm only doing this because I know your uncle. Outside of that, y'all see the mob movies? I don't even know which movie to choose from. It was like, only reason I'm not going to kill you is because I know your daddy. It's the only reason you're not dead. I'm going to have my boys beat you up because you got to learn. But the only reason you're not dead is because I know who your father is. But you walk around as if, well, I mean, I'm untouchable. No, you're not untouchable. And when your father is removed, I'm going to show you that you're not untouchable. When the one who was praying for you is no longer praying for you, I'm going to show you that you're not untouchable. Because it was never you. It was always Abraham. I told him to leave his family behind. He brought you. I separate y'all two. You get caught up in some nonsense. Now Abraham go and get you again. Now Abraham, know where you live at. I told him I'm about to destroy your house, and Abraham want me to save you again. Boy, if it weren't for Abraham, Y'all better be praying for those who are praying for you. Say that again. Y'all better pray for those who pray for you. Because it may not be your prayers that are getting answered, but the person who's praying for you, prayers are getting answered. That's why he hasn't destroyed us yet. I put myself in it. Because there are other people praying for us. Lot went up from Zoar and settled in the hill country with his two daughters, for he was afraid to dwell in Zoar. And he and his two daughters lived in the cave. And the older one said to the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man on earth to consort with us in the way of all the world. Come, let us make our father drunk with wine, and let us lie with him, that we may maintain life through our father. That night they made their father drink wine, and the older one went in and lay with her father. He did not know when she lay down or when she rose. The next day the older one said to the younger, see, I lay with father last night. Let us make him drink wine tonight also, and you go and lie with him, that we may maintain life through our father. That night also they made their father drink wine, and the younger one went and lay with him. He did not know when she lay down or when she rose. Thus the two daughters of Lot became pregnant by their father. The older one bore a son and named him Moab, or of my father. He is the father of the Moabites today. And the younger one also bore a son, and she called him Ben-Ami, son of my people. He is the father of the Ammonites of today. So you see the foolishness even in the daughters. You see the foolishness. Y'all just left a city that was not destroyed. And instead of talking to your father, so he could tell you, oh no, baby, the Most High destroyed the things around us, but there are men out there. I'm a little old, but I'm going to tell y'all where to go. Instead of doing any of that, you get your father drunk, which if it's just me and my two daughters in a tent and I'm getting drunk and I wake up with my pants off. Okay. It's just a whole lot of foolishness. This whole chapter is showing you what a foolish household looks like. Your daughters ain't got no common sense. Your wife is connected to wickedness. You're scared. He was afraid to dwell in Zoar. You're afraid to dwell in the place that you told me to go, where the Most High said you can go and I won't destroy it. What are you afraid for when the Creator gives you the place to go? He grants you safety. What are you afraid for? Possibly because you didn't know the Creator for yourself. So once again, once Abraham is out of the picture, and now it's just you and your thoughts, now all of a sudden you don't know what to do. You're afraid of your own shadow, because the one that should be your protection, the one that you should have been following Abraham to learn of, right? Like Eleazar found the Creator, who was a servant of Abraham, for those who don't know. Eleazar found, he tested the Creator and found him true. You don't see Lot testing the Creator at all. You actually see him continuing to fight against what the Creator wants him to do. I got other headphones too. Yeah, 3. All right. Give me a second, Mr. What? Hold on, fam. I got his bathroom too. Joseph, can you continue reading, Nucky? Or Sherry? You know, we at the end of 19. I gotta use the bathroom and help Kayo out real quick.
Okay, starting at 20. Okay, Ken. We'll tell safe Mishpata. Pardon the background. Like the little ones running around. You good? So this is the book of Bereshit, commonly called Genesis, chapter 20, starting at verse 1. And Abraham set out from there to the land of the south, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and sat in Gerar. And Abraham said concerning Sarah, his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, sovereign of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. But Elohim came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, see, you are a dead man because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is the man's wife. However, Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, Yahweh, will you kill a righteous nation also? Did he not say to me, she is my sister? And she, even herself, said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and in the innocence of my hands, I have done this. And Elohim said to him in a dream, yes, I know that you did this in the integrity of your heart. And so I keep you from sinning against me. For this reason, I do not let you touch her. Verse 7. And now return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and let him pray for you and your life. But if you do not return her, know that you shall certainly die, you and all that are yours. So Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all the servants and spoke all these words in the hearing. And the men were greatly frightened. And Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, what have you done to us? And what have I sinned against you, that you have brought onto me and on my reign a great sin? You have done a matter to me that should not have done. Before we proceed, family, does anybody have any questions, comment, concern about what has taken place thus far?
All right, okay. Sorry, Joe. Okay. I got it like you told her.
Okay, do you see where we stopped at? Verse 10?
In chapter 20?
Okay.
Yep. Told
Little bar. I was just asking the question about what the people see at this point. But I'll give my thought first, and then we could proceed from there.
Okay.
For me, it's a little interesting because we're still talking about the father of faith, but no spoilers. But I'm still trying to figure out why are they still going through this test in the sense of, I don't want to use the word impersonating, right? That this is my brother and my sister, because it really wasn't. But it's like, why would you have to walk like that still? You know, so it's just a question that kind of comes to my mind when I look at it. But I do understand later on, and I don't want to do, like I said, I'm not trying to do spoilers, but I do understand why now. And it actually gives a better understanding of the other situations too that took place in this same like manner. So I thought it was interesting reading that and seeing that.
Okay. You want to expound on that?
So you're going into spoiler. All right. So it was more or less a test for those individuals that came around him, that he came around as well, in seeing if the Most High was in that place or not. We're talking about a time where the Most High's name is not foreign. People know of the Creator of heaven and earth. I'll say like that. They acknowledge him, but do they acknowledge him as their Elohim in a sense, right? Do they respect the laws well enough to where they don't infringe on his property, so to speak? So the 3 times, this wouldn't be the 3rd time, the 3 times that this happened where they presented his Isha as his sister, it was more or less the same thing. That testing of, are y'all going to infringe on
It's too lucky.
sleeping out, my bad. Are y'all going to infringe on sleeping with this man's wife, so to speak? What are they going to do? You know, so it's kind of interesting when you see it like that.
Yeah, and so another question would be, well, was Abraham right? Um, was there no fear of Elohim in this place, or was that just his thought? Because he said, verse 11, right? I know you stopped at 10. I thought, said Abraham, surely there's no fear of Elohim in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. Well, who said that? And Egypt, you know, more than likely, he may have heard some things, but the way that not only about talking about the fear of Elohim, but the presence of Elohim is there because he's able to tap into Abimelech. And Abimelech, unlike those who we just read about in Sodom and Gomorrah, actually understands or can discern the voice of the Creator. Oh, okay, I hear you. That's for me. But still, it's so to me, so to answer your question about why is it the same name, I think it's for Abraham as well, to see it again. And obviously he's right in a sense that his wife is just, Sarah is the truth. Regardless of where they go, Sarah the truth. So he's right in that regard, but it's mm-mm. Because on one hand it's like, but you don't know that. But then on the other hand, what he said would happen did happen outside of killing him, because the Most High intervened. Then you also see that Abimelech said, "Well, I did this with pure heart." He said, "That's his sister. I was just gonna holler at her." And Most High said, "Yeah, I know that you did this with a pure heart, so that's why I kept you from sinning against me." So, in a sense, this should tell us that we should be very careful of judging an environment because you don't see no Hebrew letters on the wall, or because you don't see people wearing fringes, or because their name is John or Dan or Christopher as opposed to Yekezekiel, because you don't actually know who has a pure heart and who doesn't, and who can actually hear the voice of the Creator and who can't. It said Abraham is the Most High calls Abraham my prophet. Um, where did Abraham prophesy? Does anybody know what Abraham prophesied at? No? Yohanan? The healer? Anybody? No? Okay. Janaea? No? Okay. Um, that's because you're right. I can hear you guys, saying it. He didn't. He never he never said thus saith the Creator, thus saith the Most High. He never said any of that. So how is he a prophet? Hmm. We can go back to that question later. So he will intercede for you to save your life. Go ahead, Akeem.
Oh, I was going to answer your question. I didn't know if you would come back to it later.
No, go ahead.
And I'm gonna shoot my shot. He prophesied through his life. His very walk his very life is a prophecy. For the sheer fact of everything that he went through, all of the tests, all the trials, blessings, I don't want to call it curses, but his days were not easy, so to speak, right? So everything that he was doing leading up to, man, where's the scripture at? Was it Jeremiah 19? Isaiah 19? I can't remember exactly. Where it's telling you to basically look back at Abraham and Sarah. You look back at it as a reference, just like how you would look back at a Nabi when they speak as a reference of what to do and what not to do. A Nabi is more or less a mouthpiece of the Creator. But I got to think outside the box at this point, because Abraham's not saying thus says the Most High. He's literally living it out at this point. So that's why, for me, I don't see him saying thus say the Most High. It's through his actions. It's through his deeds. It's literally through his life that you're seeing that transpire. So I lay my plan.
I would agree. I would agree. A prophet is he is a messenger. Usually, he is speaking, as Joseph said. He speaks through his life, because you don't see him prophesy necessarily about future things or anything of that nature. But when he speaks, is he speaking the words of the Creator in a sense of, because I don't want it to get, but then again I do, misconstrued, because if we say that he was a prophet by the way that he lived and that his life was a prophecy, then what would stop somebody else from saying that they are a prophet? Prophecy was told to Abraham. So, HalaYah. Hold on. So, as I kept talking, right, Most High brought me to Amos 3 and 8. What does that say? Anybody on top of your head? Amos 3 and 8? Ready, set, go? No? The Most High shall do nothing without first revealing it to his servants. The who? Hello? Man, you cut on my screen. Yeah. Hello?
You said Amos 3 and 8, I don't.
I believe it's 3 and 8.
Low, 7. One up.
Well, listen, I was shooting from the hip. When
Hey, you good? You good?
And it says what, Akeem?
Okay, it says, for the Master Yahuwah does no matter unless he reveals his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
Unto his servants, the prophets. That is what makes him a prophet. Yes, it's life. But then as I was thinking, I was like, well, then what would stop you from saying that you're a prophet? Look at my life, it's prophecy. Okay, I got you. When in all actuality, the Most High constantly, we just read, the Most High said, did I not tell Abraham what I'm about to do? Surely he shall be a great nation. Should I not tell him what I'm going to do before I do it? Should I not tell him in Genesis 15 that his children or his seed is going to be in bondage for 40 years and I'm going to judge the nation, they're going to leave out with great substance? Should I not tell him that? So did I not just tell him that a year from now, I'm going to come back and I'm going to give your wife a baby, a son, a year from now? So over and over and over again, you see the Most High telling Abraham what's going to happen before it happens. That's a prophet. That's what a prophet is. So it's not necessarily one, it's a spokesman. So usually he gives you that in order for you to tell somebody else. But if he gives you that and you see it come to, and you see it manifest, then obviously you should know that the Most High is dealing with you in the realm of a prophet. Does that make sense? Okay. I'll take the silence as acquiescence. All right. Excuse me. I thought, said Abraham, good. Is that cool? I thought, said Abraham, surely there is no fear of Elohim in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. And besides, she is in truth my sister, my father's daughter, though not my mother's, and she became my wife. So when Elohim made me wander from my father's house, I said to her, let this be the kindness that you shall do to do me. Whatever place we come to, say there of me, that's my brother. Abimelech took sheep, oxen, male and female slaves, and gave them to Abraham, and he restored his wife to Sarah. And Abimelech said, hey, here, my land is before you. Settle wherever you want to. And to Sarah he said, I herewith give your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. This will serve as vindication before all who are with you, and you are cleared before everyone. Abraham then prayed to Elohim. Elohim healed Abimelech and his wife and his slave girls, so they bore children. But Yahuwah had closed fast every womb of the household of Abimelech because of Sarah, the wife of Abraham. So you had to know that for some reason, nobody in the hood is getting pregnant. Imagine nobody having, like nobody getting pregnant. You're going to figure out, you're going to try to start to wonder about some going on here. In fact, nobody getting pregnant. So Abraham prayed. He's getting increased. And technically, people always say that he lied. Technically, he told the truth both times. Kind of like wearing two hats. I put on this hat here and I put on this hat here. Technically, both are still my hats. But I just show you the one I want you to see. So technically, Abraham didn't lie. So next time somebody tell you that Abraham lied twice, he didn't lie at all. Technically, she is my sister. And according to Torah, you can't sleep with your sister, whether she is your sister on your mother's side or sister on your father's side. That's still your sister. There's no such thing as stepsister in the scriptures. Chapter 21. Yahuwah took note of Sarah as promised, and Yahuwah did for Sarah what had been announced. Sarah conceived and bore a son to Abraham in his old age at the time of which Yah had spoken. Once again, that is confirmation according to Amos 3 that Abraham was a Nabi. Abraham gave his newborn son, whom Sarah had borne him, the name of Yitzchak. And when his son Yitzchak was 8 years old, Abraham circumcised him as Elohim had commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when Isaac was born to him. Sarah said, Elohim has brought me laughter. Everyone who hears will laugh with me. And she added, who would have said to Abraham, Sarah will suckle children, yet I have borne a son in his old age. The child grew up and was weaned, and Abraham held a great feast on the day Isaac was weaned. Finally, I got my spin. He ain't worried about no tatas no more. We about to go war. I'm about to go teach this boy what he need to know. HalaYah. Everybody come. We about to have a party. Breast milk for everybody. Sarah saw the son whom Hagar, the Egyptian, had born to Abraham playing. She said to Abraham, cast out that slave woman and her son, for the son of that slave shall not share in the inheritance with my son Yitzchak. The matter distressed Abraham greatly, for it concerned a son of his. Woman, I just had a baby with you. You gave me Hagar. and she gave me Ishmael. This is my first son of my loins. And you want me to do what? Absolutely not. It said it greatly distressed him, but really he was very, very upset, very, very angry at this situation, as most men would be. I'm not putting away my son. Are you crazy? But verse 12. Elohim said to Abraham, do not be distressed over the boy or your slave. Whatever Sarah tells you, do as she says, for it is through Isaac that offspring shall be continued for you. Of course, we know he had 6 other children, so he still had more offspring, just talking about the line of the promise. And also we see there is FOE, facts over emotions. You distressed, you angry, you don't want to do what the Most High telling you to do. I just bought this house. I just bought this car. I don't want to leave my job. Your emotions have nothing to do with Yah. Yah doesn't deal with emotions. Not when it comes to being obedient. You cry out to him, obviously, that's an emotion. Now, what he tells you to do after you cry out, wipe your tears, get up and go move. You're angry, so you're praying like Daud. Most High, make them barren. Make they babies hungry just like our babies is hungry, so on and so forth. Okay, you angry, cool. After the prayer, he tells you what to do. Calm yourself down and go do what he told you to do. Your emotions do not trump Yah. They don't. And using your emotions to manipulate other people, that's called witchcraft. That's against Torah. We don't deal with emotions. Keep them in check. Do what the Creator told you to do. Verse 13. As for the son of the slave woman, I will make a nation of him too, for he is your seed. The Most High already knew. Like, look, chill out. I still got him. That's just not who the promise is. He gonna be great. I'm gonna make sure he good. He gonna eat good because that's your son too. Everybody, did I not say you gonna teach your seed, your children, plural, and your posterity? That means that you also gotta tap in with him too. Early next morning, Abraham took some bread and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. He placed them over her shoulder together with the child and sent her away. And she wandered about in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water was going from the skin, she left the child under one of the bushes and went down and sat at a distance, a bow shot away. But she thought, let me not look on as the child dies. Sitting thus so far, she burst into tears. Elohim heard the cry of the boy, and the messenger Hagar called to a messenger of Elohim, slackly, called to Hagar from Shamayim and said to her, what's wrong with you? Don't trip. Elohim, he hit a boy. I'm sorry, this is the Daud edition. Verse 18. Get up, go pick up the little one, and hold him by the hand, for I will make a great nation of him too. Then Elohim opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the skin with water and let the boy drink. The Most High made two things either happened. One, the Most High made the well of water appear, or it was spiritual water that they just drunk. Or two, based on her emotions, she couldn't see. Either way, we're still dealing with emotions. But Elohim heard the cry. Once again, I told you, he hears the cry, right? All right, now get up and go do something. You can't sit here and wallow in your emotions, though. It's cool you got them. That's why the Most High gave them to us, so you can get back on track. But you can't stay in your emotions. That's unproductive. That makes people not work 6 days. Verse 20. Elohim was with the boy. He grew up. He dwelt in the wilderness and became skilled with the bow. He lived in the wilderness of Paran. Elohim, his mother got him a wife from the land of Egypt. Why would she get him a wife from the land of Egypt? Anybody know? Maybe one. That's where she from. You gonna get a girl. You gonna get a woman like me, baby. Let me go and get one. Let me go to my hood, just like Sarah went back to her block. Rivka went back to her block. Most women, if they good women, I want you to get somebody like me. So I'm back in those times. I want to go get you a wife. At that time, Abimelech and Pekah, chief of his troops, said to Abraham, Elohim is with you in everything that you do. Therefore, swear to me here by Elohim that you will not deal falsely with me or with my kith and kin, but deal with me and with the land in which you have sojourned as loyally as I have dealt with you. And Abraham said, I swear it. So are people scared of you like that? We're not even scared of you, but do they see you in that same manner? So where they're like, look, obviously you got it. You got it. The Most High with you. I ain't even gonna front. But look, I just need you to make sure you look out for me the same way I'm looking out for you. Rock with me like I'm rocking with you. And Abraham being a 100 type of guy, look, I'm gonna rock with you like he rock with me. This is only righteous. Balance, right? Balance in all things. 25. The Abraham reproached Abimelech for the well of water which the servants of Abimelech had seized. Like, look, yeah, I got you, bro, but your boys just stole one of my cars. But Abimelech said, I ain't know who did this to you, and you ain't tell me nothing. I ain't hear nothing about it till today. So Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. Abraham then set 7 ewes of the flock by themselves, and Abimelech said to Abraham, what mean these 7 ewes which you have set apart? He replied, you are to accept these 7 ewes for me as proof that I dug this well. Hence the place was called Beersheba, for the two of them swore an oath. The well of the oath is Beersheba. When they had concluded the pact at Beersheba, Abimelech and Pekah, chief of his troops, departed in return to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a terrace at Beersheba and invoked there the name of Yahweh El Olam, the everlasting El. And Abraham resided in the land of the Philistines a long time. I mean, you gave me land. I got a lot of people here. I just got my son. I'm just gonna chill right here, bro. Chill right here. Chapter 22. Sometime afterward, Elohim said to Abraham put Abraham to the test. Saying to him, Abraham, he answered, here I am. Take your son, your favorite son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moreh, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the heights that I will point out to you. So early next morning, Abraham sat on his donkey and took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac, and split the wood for the burnt offering, and set out for the place of which Elohim had told him. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place from afar. So early next morning, once again, we see Abraham does not hesitate. Oh, you told me to go here? All right, boom, I'm going. You told me to do this? All right, boom, I'm going. The problem is one of 2 things that we're dealing with right now in Israel is, one, we don't know the voice of the Creator, which sometimes it's hard for some of us to discern, including myself. Or 2, we're more like Lot, where we don't really trust the Creator. So it's either you don't hear him or you don't trust him. Both of those can be worked on. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place from afar. Then Abraham said to his servants, you stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go up. We will worship, and we will return to you. What is it? I thought it ended. Am I true? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to figure out something. I think I went too far. Oh. Okay. That's the whole thing. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and put it on his son Isaac. He himself took the fire stone and the knife, and the 2 walked off together. Then Yitzchak said to his father Abraham, Father? He answered, yes, my son. And he said, I see the wood and the fire, but with the sheep. And Abraham said, it's Elohim who will see to the sheep for his burnt offering, my son, and the two of them walked on together. You know, Isaac had to be very smart at this time. He's not a child, by the way. He's like 20-something years old, for the record. So he's a young adult. And he's seen his father do burnt offerings all the time. And Abba, you usually got a sheep or a goat or something. I don't see nothing right now. Just me, you, and this knife in your hand. Anyway, verse 9. They arrived at the place of which Elohim had told them. Abraham built an altar there. He laid out on the wood and bound his son Isaac. He laid him on the altar on top of the wood. And Abraham picked up the knife to slay his son. Then the Malach of Abraham called to him from Shamayim, Abraham, yo, chill out. I'm just playing. He answered, here I am. Do not raise your hand against the boy or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear Elohim, since you have not withheld your son, your favorite one, from me. Obviously, people, there are going to be things the Creator is going to test you with, things he gives you, and then want to see if you're going to give it back. He gave you a gift. Are you going to give your gift back to him, or are you going to give it to the world so they can manipulate it? Or are you just going to hide your gift? Whatever he gave you, you owe him. Everything he gave you, you owe him back. And to fear Elohim or to respect Elohim is to understand that he gave you that to use for him, whatever it is. It's not for you. When Abraham looked up, his eye fell upon a ram caught in the thicket by its horns. So Abraham went and took the ram and offered it as a burnt offering in place of his son. And Abraham named that site Adonai Yereh, which the present saying, on the mount of Yahuwah there is vision. The messenger of Yahuwah called to Abraham a second time from heaven and said, by myself I swear, Yahuwah declares, because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your favorite one, I will bestow my blessing upon you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars of Shamayim and the sands of the seashore, and your descendants shall seize the gates of their foes. All the nations of the earth shall bless themselves by your descendants, because you have obeyed my command. Abraham then returned to his servants, and they departed together for Beersheba. Abraham stayed in Beersheba. Sometime later, Abraham was told, Milcah too has borne sons to your brother Nechor, Uz, the firstborn, and Buz, his brother, and Kemuel, the father of Aram, and Kesed, Kazo, Pildash, Yelat, and Bethuel being the father of Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother, and his concubine, whose name was Reumah, also bore sons, Teba, Gaam, Tahas, and a daughter, Ma'akah. Chapter 22, we've all read it, we've all seen it, we all know in church, we say that Isaac is the firstborn son, or really Israel, and the ram is Yahusha. Well, most people don't say that the ram is Yahusha, they say that Isaac is Yahusha. But anyway, it's the ram for those who are on that side of the book. And if you understand rams and the burnt offering, and the ram also being the guilt offering, then you kind of can connect the dots and see that foreshadow there. But the main part, right, before you get all the way to the New Testament, the main part is understanding that what the Most High gave you, that which is your desire, he gives you in order for it to be given back unto him. So with that being said, that is the portion. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? HalaYah, Torah for your attention, and may all praise and honor and esteem go to the Creator of all things. Hallelujah. All right. Okay. So just a couple of announcements. One, next week we will be on Friends and Family. I will be teaching on Shomrei Habrit. Again, myself more Rosh Hashanah for those who know that brother as well. We will all be speaking on that platform. So the YouTube link will be there. It starts at 9 though, so y'all gonna have to get up. Sorry about that. And that's where we will have Shabbat that particular week. No, as you guys see in my and Sario Hennon's profile pic, Divine Perspective. So we will have a listening party November 25th. That Zoom link will also be in the chat so y'all will know about when the album drops and all that good stuff. So yeah, for him even though giving me the gift, and as I just said, I'm just trying to get my gift back to him. So with that being said, may everybody continue to enjoy their Shabbat. Stay safe, stay warm, and may the Most High continue to lead each and every one of us on the path and in the direction that we should go, that we may be acceptable servants in His sight. So, HalaYah, I love each and every one of you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Adam.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom. Shalom, talk with us. Shabbat Shalom. Roll. Shabbat Shalom, house of Yosef.
Shabbat
And
shalom.